What's up everyone? Today we're diving into the most jaw-dropping weather events to hit the US in the last decade. We're counting down the top 10 moments where Mother Nature went absolutely wild. Tornadoes that erase cities, hurricanes that dwarf states, floods that turned highways into rivers, and cold snaps colder than Antarctica. These are the record breakers, the disasters that left meteorologists speechless. Get ready to see footage so extreme, you'll think it's from another planet. Buckle up. This countdown will change how you see the weather forever. Let's get started. Number 10. Joplin, Missouri, May 2011. A quiet Sunday afternoon turned into a nightmare that would change the city forever. An EF5 tornado, over a mile wide, ripped through the city at 200 miles per hour. The monstrous funnel cloud was so massive it dwarfed everything in its path, leaving residents with only minutes to seek shelter. In just 38 minutes, it obliterated entire neighborhoods, schools, and even a major hospital. The tornado's path of destruction was relentless, flattening homes, businesses, and landmarks that had stood for generations. The destruction was total. Over 7,500 homes and 500 businesses gone, nearly a third of the city wiped out. Streets were unrecognizable, buried under mountains of debris and shattered dreams. The human toll was staggering, 158 lives lost, over 2,100 injured, the deadliest single tornado in modern US history. Families were torn apart, and the community was left in shock and mourning. Satellite images show a vibrant city turned into a massive scar. The tornado's path is still visible from space, a haunting reminder of that fateful day. The cleanup took years, with thousands of volunteers and workers coming together to clear the wreckage. But the memory of that day is forever etched in the hearts of Joplin's residents. This tornado forced a complete rethink of warning systems and storm safety. Emergency protocols were overhauled and new technologies were developed to give people more time to react. Joplin became the benchmark for tornado devastation, a case study for meteorologists and emergency planners across the world. It was a city killer, a chilling reminder of nature's raw power and unpredictability. The images of destruction still shock those who see them. The event rewrote the book on tornado safety, inspiring new building codes and a renewed focus on community preparedness. The Joplin tornado stands as one of the most extreme and heartbreaking weather events of the decade, a tragedy that touched every corner of the city. Yet, in the face of unimaginable loss, Joplin's spirit endured, a true test of community resilience and hope for the future. Number 9. Hurricane Sandy, 2012. This was no ordinary hurricane. As it churned across the Atlantic, meteorologists watched in awe and growing concern. Sandy was a storm on a scale rarely seen, threatening millions along the East Coast. The storm was so massive it earned a new name: the Superstorm. Its swirling clouds stretched for hundreds of miles, dwarfing entire states beneath its shadow. Sandy became the largest Atlantic hurricane ever recorded, with hurricane-force winds spanning an incredible 1,100 miles, reaching from Florida all the way to Maine. Its sheer size meant that even areas far from the eye felt its wrath. It made landfall in New Jersey as a Category 1, but don't let the category fool you. The storm's enormous size and unusual angle created a catastrophic storm surge, funneling water into New York and New Jersey with devastating force. Subway tunnels filled with water, power grids failed, and entire neighborhoods were swallowed by the flood. Streets became rivers, and the city's lifelines were cut off in a matter of hours. Lower Manhattan was plunged into total darkness. For the first time in decades, the New York Stock Exchange closed for 2 days, a symbol of the city's vulnerability. The destruction was staggering, over $70 billion in damage, making Sandy one of the costliest hurricanes in US history. Homes, businesses, and iconic boardwalks were left in ruins. In the aftermath, Sandy forced a new conversation about storm surge, climate change, and how cities must adapt. Coastal defenses were reimagined, and resilience became a top priority for New York and beyond. Sandy proved that water, not just wind, can bring even the greatest city to its knees. The images of cars submerged and streets turned to rivers shocked the world. The sight of a flooded, powerless New York at night is unforgettable. A haunting reminder of nature's might and our vulnerability. Hurricane Sandy redefined what a hurricane disaster looks like, leaving scars that still shape the city's future and our understanding of extreme weather. Number 8. Hurricane Harvey, 2017. Not wind, but water made this storm historic. Harvey stalled over Texas for 4 days, dumping over 5 feet of rain near Nederland. Houston became a sprawling lake, highways turned into rivers. Over 300,000 structures and 500,000 vehicles were flooded or destroyed. The economic toll, $125 billion, tying Katrina as the costliest U.S. storm. Harvey was a human tragedy, Thousands lost everything. The storm's relentless rain was a new kind of disaster. Slow, soaking, and catastrophic. Rescue boats navigated suburban streets, symbolizing both disaster and heroism. Harvey shattered rainfall records and exposed the dangers of slower, wetter storms. It was a wake-up call for a changing climate. Harvey redefined what a worst-case scenario for rainfall looks like, a landmark event in U.S. weather history. Number 7. 2012, the hottest year ever recorded in the contiguous U.S. It started with a winter that wasn't. Flowers blooming early, shorts in January. March shattered 15,000 daily high-temperature records. July became the hottest month ever, with a relentless heat dome baking the country. Drought gripped 80% of U.S. farmland, crops withered, and food prices soared. Wildfires raged, rivers dried up, and over 100 heat-related deaths were reported. The average temperature was 3.2 degrees cooler above the 20th century norm, a staggering anomaly. 2012 was a year-long warning. The climate is changing and extremes are the new normal. It was a preview of a hotter, more volatile future. Number 6. The 2019 bomb cyclone. Sounds like a movie, but it was real. In March, a storm's pressure dropped 33 millibars in 24 hours, bombogenesis in action. It hit the central U.S. with hurricane-force winds, blizzards, and tornadoes. Denver's airport shut down, highways closed, and semi-trucks toppled. Then came catastrophic flooding, rain and melting snow overwhelmed rivers across the Midwest. Levees failed, towns submerged, and farms washed away. Damage topped $10 billion, with agriculture hit especially hard. Even a U.S. Air Force base was flooded. The bomb cyclone was a perfect storm. Wind, snow, and rain unleashing chaos across a massive area. A showcase of how fast weather can turn deadly. Number 5. The 2018 Camp Fire, California's deadliest and most destructive wildfire, a disaster that would change the state forever. In just a matter of hours, a small spark became an unstoppable inferno, fueled by dry conditions and relentless winds. The fire ignited in a remote canyon, but with the help of powerful gusts, it exploded outward, racing across the landscape at a speed faster than a football field every single second. Flames leapt from treetop to treetop, devouring everything in their path. For the residents of Paradise, there was almost no warning. Within minutes, the firestorm was upon them, forcing thousands to flee for their lives through choking smoke and walls of fire. Traffic jams formed as people tried desperately to escape. The firestorm was so intense, it generated its own weather, creating hurricane-force winds and fire vortices that trapped people in a swirling, inescapable inferno. By the time the flames subsided, Paradise was nearly wiped off the map. Over 18,000 structures were reduced to rubble, entire neighborhoods erased in a matter of hours. 85 lives were lost, many unable to evacuate in time. First responders searched through the ruins, hoping to find survivors, but often only finding heartbreak. The sky turned black at midday, plunging the town into an eerie darkness. Ash rained down, blanketing everything in a thick gray layer, as if the sun itself had vanished. The search for remains was grim and painstaking, with teams and cadaver dogs combing through the smoldering debris for weeks, bringing closure to grieving families. The campfire was a terrifying wake-up call, showing just how quickly a wildfire can become a catastrophe. Survivors described the speed and ferocity as unimaginable. In total, the fire burned 153,000 acres, leaving behind a landscape of utter devastation and causing an estimated $16.5 billion in damage, one of the costliest disasters in U.S. history. The true cost, though, was measured in lives lost and a community erased, families left with nothing but memories and ashes. The campfire marked the beginning of a new era, one where firestorms, fueled by a warming climate, threatened communities with unprecedented speed and intensity. Number 4. The 2014 Polar Vortex. Arctic air broke free and plunged deep into the U.S. Temperatures dropped to minus 36 degrees in Minnesota. Wind chills hit minus 60 degrees in Chicago. At those temps, frostbite sets in within minutes. Life stopped, schools closed, infrastructure failed, and even train tracks cracked. It was colder in Chicago than Antarctica, or even Mars. The cold caused at least 21 deaths and $5 billion in losses. Scientists linked it to a weakening jet stream, possibly from a warming Arctic. The polar vortex proved climate change means more extremes, not just heat. It was a week-long Arctic siege that froze the nation. A chilling reminder of our vulnerability to the cold. Number 3. The 2015 South Carolina flood, a so-called 1,000-year event. An atmospheric river stalled, dumping over 20 inches of rain in 3 days. Columbia was inundated. Gills Creek shattered records, dozens of dams failed, streets became rivers, caskets floated from cemeteries, and cows were swept away. Infrastructure collapsed, hundreds of roads and bridges washed out, damage topped $2 billion with 19 lives lost. Hurricane Joaquin, far offshore, pumped moisture into the system, fueling the deluge. It was a perfect storm of rare ingredients, exposing our vulnerability to extreme rain. A flood so rare, it should only happen once every 1,000 years. Number 2, the 2017 California heat wave. Over Labor Day, a heat dome sent temperatures soaring. San Francisco hit 106 degrees, smashing records. LA's Woodland Hills hit 115 degrees. Death Valley nearly reached 127 degrees. The power grid strained, wildfires erupted, and heat illnesses surged. Cooling centers opened as a public health crisis unfolded. Even famously cool cities weren't safe. Climate extremes are everywhere. This heatwave was a 5-alarm warning for scientists. It showed that no place is immune to record-breaking heat, a glimpse into a much hotter future. Number 1. The 2019 Mississippi River flood. Not a flash flood, but a disaster that lasted over 200 days. The longest in river history. Triggered by the bomb cyclone and record winter rains, the river kept rising for months. Levees breached, towns evacuated, millions of acres of farmland submerged. An entire planting and harvest season was lost. The economic hit over $20 billion, devastating the heartland and food supply. The environmental toll was massive, with polluted runoff flowing to the Gulf. This wasn't one storm, but a relentless series of events fueled by a changing climate. The flood exposed the limits of our infrastructure, a disaster of historic scale and duration. The 2019 flood redefined what extreme means for America's rivers. That's why it tops our list. That's our countdown, the 10 most extreme US weather events of the decade. Did you live through any of these? Share your story in the comments below. Your experiences help us all understand the true impact of these wild moments. If you enjoyed this, smash that like button and subscribe for more epic content. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.